FA, Mr. Glass Half Full, the revival.
Yo, if that don't get y'all pumped up, I don't know what else will. Peace and blessings, it is your boy, Eli Rex, aka Vibes, and welcome to New York Revival, where it's not just sports, it's entertainment. And I'm here with my brothers, man. You guys know who this is, man. And that's Mr. Glass Half Full, and that's Speed if you nasty now.
Let's go. I got the hat, but I'll do the hair flip. I got
Where's
you with the hair
hat?
flip.
Where's the hat, man?
I know. He does. I got a fresh new haircut. I got to show it off, bro.
That is
Listen, man, I wish I had hair, but that's another story. And I'm here with my brother El Jefe, a.k.a. White Jersey, a.k.a. Blue Jersey, a.k.a. Damon Daniel. And guys, shout out to the Revivalists. Please hit that thumbs up, share, and subscribe, man. And we couldn't do this without y'all. And guess what? There's some super chats, man. Get niggas. We got a nice special guest here in the building. But before we do that, hold up. Let's go around the room real quick, gentlemen. How was your week thus far? Because I'm just getting over a cold right now. If you don't sound, I sound like Steve Urkel.
You're back.
Man, what was going on? Half hours a week.
It was all good. Eli's mad at me because I told him he sounds like he has a cold. And he's like, I felt fine until you said something, and now I don't feel so good. I think
It's a mental game. It's a mental game.
I'm all in his
Lot
head
of a
now.
matter.
Are you drink? I don't have a drink.
I just put myself a gin and tonic. Let's go.
Let's go. All right, Speed. I ain't mad at you, baby.
Sometimes you gotta improvise. I'm like fucking MacGyver.
Pre-game.
Pivot to a next drink.
Well, I might make a quick run to the garage fridge at some point. Then, holy hell! Look at our fan of the month just coming out right out the gate.
Yeah,
I love it.
Shout out to Chris Peace, fan of the month, man. Yeah, this continues. We got another week. It continues.
We gotta pick somebody else this month, by the way, too. At some point, we gotta decide who our August fan of the month is.
Well, listen, Chris Peace, if you got an idea, how can we pick the next fan of the month? Just leave it in the chat, man. We got you, man. You don't have to super, but just put it in the chat, man. Come up with an idea, and we'll crown you for, coming up with this whole new formula we got there. We appreciate you, man. So let's do that for sure. But Speed, what you got, man? How's your week?
Good, man. Listen, I had a little weekend down at DTS down the shore. Was with the family.
It didn't save you any time. It didn't save you any time to use the acronym because you still said down the shore.
I know. Well, for the people that don't know, I had to explain what DTS is, which you should all know by now. You should all know. But it was good times. Family time. Got in the beach. Got in the pool. I got a little sun kiss, a little burn going. So I'm ready to go.
Looking great. You looking radiant. But guys, without further ado, okay? You guys probably know her at, right? And her at is NYG Fangirl. But however, guys, Adriana to us, the queen of New York Giants Instagram. Adriana's in here, guys. Let's bring her right in. Round of applause! Round of applause! Round of applause! Round of applause! We want to thank you so much for being part of the revival. Welcome. How's everything, Adriana? Thank you for your time.
Thank you guys for having me. That was like the nicest intro I think I've ever had in my life. So
we get that a lot. Yeah.
He's good. He's good.
We do it big here. We do it big here for our special guest. Thank you so much. But how's everything, man? What's going on? Tell the world what you got happening. What's going on with you?
Good. I was also DTS last weekend.
Yes.
I got a nice little tan going myself. We had
were you sun-kissed? Were you sun-kissed, though?
I was.
Where were you down the shore?
My aunt and uncle have a house in Beach Haven in LBI, and my whole family was there. Almost all of my siblings, my nephews, my cousins. It was such a good time. You know what I did that I haven't done in a long time? And I'm like, this is what happens when you get old. You just don't do fun shit anymore. I went boogie boarding. I was like, this is
Underrated.
Definitely.
Underrated. My last wave that I caught in took me all the way to shore, and I just was like, it's like me with like a bunch of 5-year-olds, and I was like, this is so fun.
100%. 100%. I
definitely happy you had fun. Definitely, man. But let's go through a couple things, guys. If you don't know who she is, man, her Instagram account is huge. Now, she's being modest when it comes to Twitter. She's like, I don't really do Twitter. No, she's huge too there. But her biggest following is on IG, and she does everything New York Giants, guys. If you don't know, now you know. However, guys, when we met her for the first time at training camp, she had some big things happening. We signed waivers. This is new for us.
I know.
We never signed a waiver.
You got to sign a waiver to hang out with this girl.
You got to sign a waiver to hang out with her. So just let me know. Tell the people what was there, what was going on, because they can't get it from us. Let them hear from the horse's mouth for sure. You know what I mean? But tell the people what was going on there.
So we had a very exciting day on the first day of training camp. MSG Networks does this segment called Expressions of Fandom, where they pick a fan from different fan bases, and they basically just kind of share their love of fandom of the team and, you know, their whole history and stuff like that. So they had reached out to me and said that they saw my Instagram and they loved how passionate I was about the Giants and stuff like that. And so we had a Zoom call. I went over the whole details, like my whole life story is why I'm a Giants fan, the whole 9 yards. And they said, all right, well, we want to film you in your element at training camp. So I went there. I didn't know there was going to be waivers involved when I met up with these guys.
Big time.
It was pretty legit. I just hope that you can't see the amount of sweat that was on me when they were recording it, but we'll see.
Don't you worry. There was a hot one out that day. Hot one.
Oh my God. It was brutal. But so it's going to be basically like a 30-second commercial that runs on MSG during all of the Giants post games. So as soon as it's done, edited, I will have it and I'll be able to share it on social media. I'll share it with you guys because you're going to be in it. So we can have the people look for us on TV, which is absolutely bonkers. It's crazy.
Which I'm going to give you guys some behind the scenes stuff, man. When we were talking, we were like family, man. We were just talking, having a good time. We even told them to cut some parts out. It was amazing.
Exactly what I was going to say. There was 3 or 4 times when I was like, I looked over to like the producer, I guess, and I was like,
that part on
after a while, they just started shaking their heads like, yeah, we got you. So we had a great
let
time,
it on that
man.
thing? Yeah.
Right. We was like, cut that. So we had a great time. And again, thank you so much. But guys, let's get started on the show here because Adriana, you know, she's part of the show here, man. But I just want to go around the room, man. And I'm going to start with Adriana first. But first, Boomer Esiason, man, they interviewed Daniel Jones in the New York market, man. And I have to tell you, man, I was kind of uncomfortable watching that video. When you're talking about cringe TV, that was cringe TV. But I just want to get your thoughts on it because Boomer was asking about the Saquon Barkley, that he got paid first. So I'm sure it kind of ruined Saquon. Like, it was just so weird, man. And talking about Dayball farted in the elevator. Like, it was just weird. It was just weird. But just give me your thoughts that a New York radio would actually do that to the New York Giants. And how did you feel about that, just watching that interview then?
You know, some of the questions I wouldn't have asked. And I was thinking about it, and I think it's just probably because they have a good relationship with the Giants. And, you know, last year they had Julian Love and Xavier McKinney and all of these guys come on after games and stuff. So I think they feel like maybe they could push the envelope a little bit with them. But I was laughing to myself because I was like, Jeff is going to have a fucking field day. Sorry, I was like, he's going to have a field day with the damn it Daniel stuff with this. Because I'm watching it and I'm like, when they're asking him about if he bought anything or splurged on anything, I'm like, come on, Jones, just like tell us all you bought a car or something. Like, act like you're like one of us.
What car do you think Daniel Jones would even buy? Like, there's
like
no way
he'd get
a
truck.
Yeah, right.
A used one.
He's like a Southerner. I could see him in like an F-150, no questions asked.
100%. That's it.
I agree.
It was tough, man. It's tough to watch, right? Like, listen, Eli Manning went through this for years. Like, this is the New York media. We try to get sound bites. He tried to put the Saquon thing out there and kind of like, give me something, DJ. And DJ, as he always does, for better or worse, is plain Jane, just plain old DJ, and he never gives you anything. And that's what got Eli through 15 years in New York. DJ, to survive in this New York market, you sometimes got to say nothing, you know, and he didn't say anything. You know, you want some more out of him sometimes, but sometimes he doesn't throw himself under the bus. So it's just probably the media market. There's nothing to do right now. There's nothing to really talk about. So you got to try and get a soundbite. And Boomer's a Jet guy. We see you, Boomer. We know what you're doing. Stop that bullshit right now. Stop that bullshit.
Giant insider, Jerry, showing some love to Adriana here. But yeah, I just didn't like the tone of they were almost like he was like the little brother not to be taken seriously. Like I just like got mad almost watching it. Like just and you know, like I love to make fun of Daniel. It's like one of my favorite things to do. It's just it's
one of your favorite pastimes, right?
It really is. It really is. But like on my terms, like I'm allowed to do that. You're not allowed to do that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I didn't like the way the questions were asked. And like Aaron Rodgers, obviously a Hall of Famer, but like the way they treated him was just a completely different, like the amount of respect that they like person to person respect was shown to Rodgers on a completely different level. And I called them shit stirring questions that they asked Daniel Jones all fucking day. Like every question was meant to get a soundbite or like poke at him for shit that people say about him. It's like, dude, ask him football questions. Like it was all like news stories that they were asking about instead of football questions. That's what annoyed me.
Well, the thing that I don't get, like, you guys know you're not going to get anything about any of them. I watched the David Hart, I watched the Joe Shane. Enough with the Saquon bullshit. They didn't talk about it for months. And you think that all of a sudden now they're going to open up and go back and tell you the whole story about what happened with Saquon and the thing about like, oh, well, Jones got paid. Like, didn't you feel bad for Saquon? I'm like, what a stupid question. Like, you know that he's not going to answer that.
And not only that, ridiculous. I think he knows the relationship that they have, right? So for you to actually try to wedge something in there and actually try to start something, in my opinion, what I thought it was, it's just like, man, what are you doing? Like you're a former player. You know how certain questions could divide certain people, right? Especially in the locker room. So you should know better at some point. Like you should be able to protect some of these players. Like I get it. You're in the business of ratings. I get it. Do what you got to do. But that was just tasteless, in my opinion. Like, he's done so much. Like, when it comes to Aaron Rodgers, like they said, they had the white gloves on. They were like, oh, my God, it's Aaron Rodgers. He's a Hall of Famer. He's this, that. Like, I get Daniel Jones is the butt of everyone's jokes around freaking New York City or the NFL, right? But still, he's a player. He's probably going to be a top 10 player, top 5 player, according to my guy Tiki. But that's another episode. That's another episode. You know what I mean? And shout out Tiki Barber. But I'm telling you right now,
like top 5.
I just of course.
You went out on a limb. I gotta respect my man Tiki for that.
And we're gonna talk about that, T. We're gonna talk about it. That's another show. I got you, brother. I got you. But still, you know what I mean? The guy's a player. You should understand that certain things and sound bites can divide certain people. Like Boomer, you should know better, man. Come on. Oh,
he knew what he was doing.
Years, man.
He knew what he was doing. He knew what he's doing. He's a Jet guy that's trying to stir up some shit. That's what happens when you don't have like a giant guy. Like he was asking basic level questions, general questions, and he didn't really get into like the football talk really. Because when you're not a Giants fan, you're not like in tune. You don't have your ear to the ground. You don't know what most people want to hear. Nobody wants to hear about the Saquon, DJ fracture relationship anymore. We're past that. We've moved on. It's a different conversation.
It was over. It was over the second that Saquon showed up at camp.
Right.
It was over.
So it's just infuriating. But that's media. That's what they do.
I agree. But guys, hold on. This is some hot topic coming on today, man. There's some things that's ringing. What just happened to our guest?
He was like, hot topic. I'm out of here.
This is live, people. This is live. But you know what? Before we get Adriana back in here, man, because of course the show gotta go on, right? But of course, the hot topic, man. We got some contracts talks that I'm hearing. Adoree Jackson looking like he might be extended here, man. And I want to get Mr. Glass Half Full's thoughts on this, man. Is it a good thing to extend Adoree now? Should the Giants wait? Like, what is your thoughts on this rumor that's going around, man, on this report?
Well, so the report is that they've reached out and they've opened conversation. There's been talks about an extension, which prior to today, we didn't hear shit about Adoree there being any talks. So that in my mind is progress. We see progress here. Hold on, let's try and get Adriana back in here before we keep going.
I gotcha.
She's back.
Was it something we said?
Round of applause.
I have no idea what just happened.
Don't you worry.
You're out.
So let me fill you in really quick. Of course, we got Adoree Jackson contract talks. So the Giants reached out to his camp. So we're just going around the room getting some thoughts of what you feel about that. And we're going to start with the guest of honor. Unless Speed, you want to finish up your point, and then we'll start with Adriana after you're done.
What I'll just say is that again, this is new news. We some of us thought that he might be out the door after this year. In light of this new news, they're not closing the door yet. I think if it were me, I'm waiting to see what it looks like at the bye week with the current configuration, with the rookies doing what they're doing. You try to reach out the bye week, try and get them at a good price. And then if it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. But don't go overboard yet. Don't sign them yet. Just wait a little bit more, see what this looks like. And then we'll come back at bye week. So that's my thought.
Adriana, what you got?
Yeah. I agree. I do think there's a lot of value in having someone like Adoree here at least for one more year, especially when you have 2 rookie corners who are like very much rookies and learning from the get-go here. And I just think he's been a really good player for the Giants on and off the field. I think he's done everything right. And, he hasn't really dealt with a lot of injuries, which we've seen with a ton of other players. So he's a guy that I would like to see back for at least one more year. But I agree, let's maybe give it to the bye week, see how it does. Obviously, we know they're not going to do anything crazy, like overpay him. But obviously, we want to see him get through some weeks, see how he does, because it looks like he's going to be playing the slot quite a bit.
Yes.
And just make sure that he can get healthy, stay healthy at least through the bye.
Please.
Agree, Hef.
He's a good, solid veteran that you want to have around. And while we have these two rookies that it's very promising what they can be long-term, you still want that veteran presence in there. And the good thing is that no one's talking about Adoree like he's a top 5 corner in the league. He's just a really solid cornerback, like reliable, right? He can be out there. He does his job. So it shouldn't break the bank. He's not resetting any markets. It's not going to be anything crazy like that. But bye week at the earliest, see how the season unfolds. But I'm definitely in favor of, if it's a 2 or 3 year deal at a good price, keep this guy around. People get hurt. You need depth. You need leadership. And he's been a good Giant. He's been a good pro on and off the field. So I'm in favor.
No, I totally agree, man. I mean, listen, to be honest with you, we kind of need him, right? Because again, as you're looking at that depth purpose of it, right? He is that solid veteran. We do have a couple rookies in there that's just not ready to take on those roles as of yet. But as far as extending him now, I think the Giants, like Speed said, got to wait just a little bit for me. Like, I just want to see a couple games. I just want to see what's going on. I just want to see maybe a little bit of preseason, which I don't know. Maybe I doubt. I don't know what Dave Ball's thinking, but I just got to see something. I got to see something before I just start backing up the Brinks truck and extending somebody at this point. You know what I mean? So not to say he isn't solid player. Absolutely. You know what I mean? Especially when he's healthy, but I just got to see something. I got to see something, just unless it's a real good number where you're like, all right, we got to lock him in now because we're expecting him to blow up this season, then do your thing. You know what I mean? But other than that, man, I got to see. I got to see something. I got to see what I'm buying. You know what I mean? Before I'm comfortable with that. You get what I'm saying?
I'd like to see this, though, too. I don't know if you guys saw the interview with him today. Like, he was perfectly cool. He's perfectly cool with playing the slot. Like, he's a standout teammate. He's like, I got to show these young guys how to do it. Like, I show them how to be selfless. Whatever the sentiment was, whatever the team needs, I'm going to do. And that I respect the shit out of Dory for that. He seems like a good teammate, a good Giant. I'd like to see him here. Obviously, it depends on the price, but this is good. I think this is positive. We're trying to bring all of our best players back, one way or another. Whether they price themselves out or not, that's a different story. But we've reached out to literally everybody. We're not just like even Julian Love. We tried to get him back. It just didn't work out. So they're trying to keep this core together and build on it. So it would suck to lose a guy like Adoree, but
we would feel differently if Flott was that dude already, and we were like, oh, this guy's got the slot. Now we got our outside corners. Why would we pay Adoree long term? We're trying to stay young and stay cheap. So that's why you wait until the bye week and you see how this unfolds a little bit.
Facts.
Totally. But let me throw a monkey wrench in here, guys, because of course I do this almost every
God
damn
damn it,
show.
Eli. Damn it,
right?
Rachel.
Not part of the notes. Catch you all off guard. You know what I mean? But I want to get each player from you guys, okay, before I ask this question. Let's ask this question and think of your player. And I'm going to start, of course, with El Jefe after this. But
shit.
Who is that player? You already know. I always got to go with you on these things.
Not enough time to think.
But who is that player that has to take that next step as far as like consistency wise? Like, you need to see more. The dog got to be out. Who is that guy? Who is that player that got to be that dog this season where you're like, oh, consistently he got to do something? Like, I got to see this guy consistently do it. And I'm going to start with El Jefe, man. Who's that player that you say that you think that got to be like, yo, got to be that dog? Take that next step. Who is it?
So I was between two guys on the offensive line, so I'm just going to pick one maybe that you're not expecting, but I'm going to say Izudu, a top 100 pick that, going into his second year now, this is a guy that should absolutely be taking over that left guard spot, and he should just own that shit, and that should be him, and then you worry about everyone else. That's one less spot to worry about. They're still rotating these guys in and out. They don't know what their 5 is. And this is the fucking thing, the dark cloud that's been over the Giants for over a decade. What is this? When is this offensive line finally going to click and just gel and have your 5 guys? So, like, that's a dude, like, we know about the other guys on the line. I'm not going to take anyone else's thunder in case they want to go there. Izudu, step up, be that guy, and beat out these traveling journeymen who are not long-term here. Like, take that job. You were drafted here. Be that guard that we need you to be.
I dig it.
And chat, make sure you get in there. Revivalists, get in there. We want to hear your thoughts as well. Who's that guy? But Adriana, what you got?
So I'm going to go with Cordell Flott because I cannot, under any circumstances, I will not sit and watch Darnay Holmes play the fucking slot position. I know it's I cannot do it.
Let's go.
This is a family program.
Cheers to that.
Cheers to that. I couldn't
really
agree more. Not going to stop me. I keep going. Preach.
Scream it from the mountaintops.
You guys will love this. I got to send you screenshots. So I have a group chat with my brother, my uncle, and my cousin. And this is so mean. The amount of times that we just shit on Darnay Holmes is honestly probably not okay. But deservedly, he led the team in penalties last year. I can't do it. I will not sit and watch him be
with the wide receivers. It's not his fault. What do you expect him to do? Just let him run by? He's got a hold on. I mean, credit to him for not giving up.
Let's preface this. This is Jeff's boy that we're taking shots at. He stands for
I was really trying.
To his credit, he's jumped off he's off the bandwagon now. He's firmly off of it. So I'll give him credit there.
But finish your point. I'm sorry, Adriana. When she said a name that is very touching everybody, it's like that buzzword. It's like, so finish up, son. I'm sorry. We didn't mean to interrupt you. We're just having some fun.
That's what we do.
I didn't realize I was going to get you that bad, but I can't deal with it. The team is not good enough to make up for his penalties. No. And until we get to that point, I don't think he deserves it. I would rather watch Flott struggle in there, and if for whatever reason Hawkins is not ready to start, then put Adoree back there and put Flott in the slot, because I can't do it. I will not enjoy watching him in there. He got a flag in practice. He got a fucking DPI in practice. And I was like, I'm done. I am done with you. I will never defend you anymore. I have had enough. It's over for us.
He's gone.
I respect it.
I mean, fair enough.
Respect it. Listen, he was getting cracked in freaking camp, right? I forget who the wide receiver was, but he was getting cracked. Cracked out there. Shout out to Jerry Giant.
Adriana, you can have any take you want. Just watch the language, for Christ's sake.
Watch the fucking language.
Watch the fucking language.
Speed, what you got, Speed?
Yeah, I mean, listen, I'm going to go with the obvious one here. And I've talked a little bit about this on Twitter, and I got a little backlash. But for me, Tibbs has to be the guy. He needs to be the guy. Not even a guy. He needs to be the motherfucking guy. I want top 10 pass rusher out of you. Show that you guys, he came in with all his stardom. He came in with all the flash. And, I know these practices are not geared towards defenders hitting the quarterback and causing a ruckus like that. But for me, even with that, it's been a relatively quiet, camp and summer for our number 5, our star, supposed to be our star on the defensive side. Now maybe he's taking it easy. Maybe it's the mandate of not touching the quarterback, whatever it is. I need to see him hit this next gear. Maybe he's just holding in a tank for a little bit. I need 5 to be that guy. And I don't even think it's close on the defense. I think if he's the edge rusher we think, that changes everything. If he was the edge rusher at the end of last season, that 3 sacks in the last 5 games, basically won a game by himself with the Redskins. If he's that guy consistently, we are going to be okay. We're going to be okay on defense. I have no doubt about it. If he's not that guy, we're in for some fucking hurt. We're in for a world of hurt on defense. I'm telling you guys.
It is a little weird though. Very quiet camp, and what they're saying is obviously you're not allowed to hit the quarterback, but there are plenty of times where they'll blow a call dead or they'll play dead or they tag him or whatever. No one's hitting any quarterbacks, but he's not around the quarterback enough is what they're seeing.
Detroit, the Detroit guy, and this is not just you, Giant beat writer Connor Hughes said it recently, but the Detroit guys, I haven't really seen KT out there at all. He's been kind of invisible, which is kind of that's a shot fired at our guy. So I don't know, man.
I'm afraid of that sophomore jinx. I'm afraid. I'm gonna be honest with you. When we were watching him at camp, did you see him enough besides him waving? I didn't see enough. I didn't see him his rookie year flying out there. I just didn't see it. He has the mentality. He looks like he has the work ethic to try to get better. He's saying all the right things.
Star
quality. Just the actions isn't there.
Yes.
The actions isn't there just yet. Now, again, it might be too soon. Might be too soon. So we'll see what preseason 2 and 3 looks like. But I need to see more. Like I need to see more of that 5 out there. I just don't see enough.
All right, Eli, who's your pick? And then we got a super chat to get to.
Oh.
Evan Neal, please come to the front of the congregation. We would like to have a word with you, my brother. This is the year. This is it. Training wheels are off, my brother. You lost some weight. You slimmed down. You look great. You look awesome, man. Also, I've seen a couple of your Instagram posts working on your technique and your feet. Looks amazing. So please do not revert back to them hideous techniques that you have. Please do not get killed because guess what? We've seen a couple of those plays in camp too. So Evan Neal, we need to see some consistency. We need to see that dog in you this time. You sound like the dude from 8 Mile. You're like, yes, coffee boss, cornbread. Like you sound like the guy. All right, you sound like you can be that southern, that grit type of guy. I need you this year to step up. Find that dog. Pass protect. Because, again, you guys are a whole question mark along that line besides AT. It's terrible at this point that this is just a run-on joke with the offensive line. It's like annoying. So guess what? You got picked in that first round. Go be that dog that second. Because you didn't have a good rookie year. You didn't, right? So now this is your time. There should be no sophomore jinx for you. You didn't hit that ceiling. You didn't even come close to it. I don't even think you scratched the surface yet. Come to the front. You're not done yet. Do it. Step it up, brother. This got to be your year. Be that dog. I need you.
That's right. Solid rant. I felt that one. All right, from Evan Neal.
Hallelujah.
To Neil Believes. Coming through with a nice super chat here.
Let's go. Thank you so much, man.
You, Neil.
Thank you, Neil, man. Neil believes. I believe, brother. I believe. Thank you so much, man. Thank you for the super chat. Wow, I'm going to light this one off. You see, man? You see, I believe. I got to stop playing. Well, let's go, man. But
Neil Believes is an OG on Twitter. I mean, he's one of the first people I remember when I started, and I've followed 100 people and had 50 followers. I feel like Neil Believes was one of the first people I remember interacting with. So shout out to him for coming along for the ride.
Man.
Thank you for the super chat. Appreciate you.
So, guys, really quick, man, I just want to ask everybody's opinion because obviously, you know, we see through camp what's going on. So we're going to kind of take a guess and look in the globe here, right? We got a lot of wide receivers on this freaking roster, right? Who do you think could be Daniel Jones's favorite target at this point? And, of course, we got to start with the guest of honor. Out of all these wide receivers, who do you think Daniel Jones can have that that connection with at this point, Adrian?
We gave Adriana no notes whatsoever.
We just saw it.
We're so fucking professional. She had no idea about anything that was going to happen. She was just like, I'll be there. And she was here on time. So kudos. But yeah, go ahead. I just bought you 10 seconds.
Okay, excellent. I'm gonna go Paris Campbell because I feel like you could argue, like I probably could have went like 5 different guys. Yeah. But I just feel like from what I have already seen and heard from OTAs and camp that he's going to be that guy. I think that even though he's new to the team, him and Daniel have developed that rapport already. He seems like he's getting a lot of targets. And I feel like he could be one of those guys, especially when it's like a 3rd and 3 and they don't want to run the ball or he's got the RPO and he can just kind of dump off a short pass to Paris and know that he can just take it to the house or he can get it past the 3-yard mark. I feel like he's going to be that guy. He's got the speed, he's got the hands, and I
like that pick.
Yeah, I like that one. No, I like that one. That one was different.
I did not have that on my bingo card. So.
Not at all. Not at all. Hef.
It's Waller. It is Waller. It begins and it ends with Waller.
I should have took Waller out this equation to have you think a little bit.
I was going strictly based on wide receivers, not tight ends.
Yes.
Let's take we'll take Waller out because it was too easy.
Obvious.
That was too
easy. That was too easy.
I'm gonna go Hodgins because I have eyes and I watched last season. And as soon as Hodgins got there, he became a safety blanket. The guy just gets open. There's some kind of connection that he has with DJ, even on broken plays. The dude moves. He knows where to go. He seems to be in the right spot, and he catches everything. And DJ knows that. So I'm going Hodgins because I don't trust. I won't finish that sentence.
I think we all knew where you were going with that.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Next.
Speak.
Man. All right. Just for the sake of argument, I would have gotten with Hodgins, but I want to, because I've been touting him as wide receiver 1 since last year. I've been trying to tout.
Right.
Spiro had it first. He had it
But
first.
He did.
I'm going to say if this man stays healthy the whole year and he's cleared up his drop issues, Darius Slayton
You
is
son
in
of
for
a
his
bitch.
first
You took it. You took
1,000
it.
yards. You're right on the people.
You only have 7 other receivers.
You should have put yourself
Yeah,
first.
right,
You
actually.
should have put
The
yourself
more
first.
obvious one. You son of a bitch.
Listen, he's got a new catching coach. He's transformed how he catches balls going forward now. He's a ball stopper, they say. So I think that if you could eliminate the stupid easy drops, if you extrapolate the numbers that he had last year out, he's clearing 1,000 yards and he's got like over 5 touchdowns. So I think if he puts it all together this year, there's more of a crowd around him that he's not going to be taking CB1 and double teams. He's going to have a clear shot to 1,000 yards. I'm telling you guys, watch out for Darius Slayton. Shout out to that man. I think he's going to be on the map. But he's always had a connection with DJ. Since rookie year, he's always had a connection with him. So stays on the field. Expect big things out of Darius.
All right, so I guess I gotta think of one. I'm gonna say Juan. No, I'm kidding. It was Darius Slayton. All right, Darius Slayton.
Yes,
is
go
the
with
only
it.
answer.
Go with it.
I'm gonna go with it.
Go with your
That's
heart.
it.
Go with your
Darius Slayton is the only obvious answer to me, right? Because again, you can see that camp, and this exactly what Speed said. You can see that connection not only from the camp, but from years prior, right? He was always that safety blanket for Daniel Jones. Now we can factor in Waller and etc. as you said, Fa. But I think when it comes to getting out of certain jams or deep balls, etc., he's gonna look at Darius Slayton, man. So I see them making that huge connection. I see them, extending those plays. Like I just see DJ finding him just in case they can't get to Waller. You know what I mean? But everybody else had a good choice. So appreciate you guys on that one. Good chat. Good chat.
I think it's interesting no one said Shep, though, because I think if Shep was healthy and he didn't have a little bit of the history that he's had, he also has been Jones's go-to guy for a while.
That's exactly where I was going.
Let me ask you
I don't
this.
trust him. Do not trust him.
Let me ask you this here. And of course, this is all off the cuff. It's not in the notes at all. But who was your surprise veteran cut that you'll see coming down when it comes to the 53?
Damn.
And I'm going to start with Adriana. No, I ain't going to start with Adriana. I'm going to let you think
give
for
her
a second.
Give her a break.
Mix the glass half full.
Spiro.
What you got, Speed? Your surprise cut. Veteran.
I'm going to say Glowinski. I'm going to say that, if we're going to go surprise.
He said surprise.
I want to surprise you guys. Yeah. Like,
that is a surprise. Yeah, that is a surprise. You're right.
Yeah.
You're right. I'm
going to say it's Glowinski because you know what? Like, he, as a veteran, you would think he would be getting all the snaps at right guard by now. And he's not, It's very odd that he hasn't taken all the snaps. So there's doubt there. Bredesen is there. I feel like don't close the door on Justin Pugh, who could come in here and maybe get a couple snaps. So I think Glowinski is on thin ice. You could save money by cutting him. I'm gonna go with Glowinski here, and it's not what everybody's looking at.
I think you might be right on that. All right, Hef. That was a good one. Hef, what you got?
I was having technical issues. Can Adriana go?
You are back. You're back.
We are live. You're back, though. You're back, baby. You're back. Adriana, what you got?
All right, I'm gonna go Shep because I think that after the preseason game, especially, that someone like Crowder, who has special teams experience, or Cole Beasley, who knows the system and miraculously has come in here and actually made plays. I feel like either one of them could make it in the slot over him, especially if Wandale's ready for week 1. I just feel like those other guys are gonna have a little bit of an edge over Shep. And Shep has the edge of being a Giant for as long as he did and the experience with Jones and all of those types of things. But we have to deal with so many injuries that if you could go for someone like Crowder or Beasley, I don't know. I could see it. I don't like it, but I could see it.
I hear you.
I respect that, Hef. I agree with you, but go ahead, Hef.
I would love to come up with somebody else, but I think Shep is just right there for the taking. And I think they want to keep him around. So I think if they do wind up cutting him, he'll test the market. Maybe he goes to work out for a couple people or whatever. But I think he ultimately comes back with a whistle on the Giants sideline and winds up being on this staff for a long time. I think he is loved that much by the owner, by the coaching staff, and by all the teammates that they would love to have him be a part of it even if his body can't hold up and he can't do it, because you just can't trust. There's just too many slot receivers. I'm sorry.
Even if he's healthy to start, he's never made it through a full season. So then you're just you're throwing somebody away for someone that we kind of know what's going to happen with the story, how the story ends. Sadly, because we love Shep, but
and he is like, you see, like he might be the best route runner, and he might be DJ's favorite target, and all of those things are true. But you just can't rely on him. He has not proven to be there. Like that's just the fact. As much as we all love him, he just cannot stay healthy. Yeah. And there's been different injuries too.
I agree. I mean, I'm a huge Shep fan. You guys already know, man. I'm like Shep everything, right?
We love him.
But I can see that because again, unfortunately, he's not reliable, right? The injuries, he just hasn't been able to stay healthy for an entire season, just about. So, you got to say that is a surprise. If you had to bet your money, it's got to be Shep. Glowinski, I can see that $6 million to save him, but I also see the offensive line being so thin that he possibly can't either. You know what I mean? So there's so many things that can happen. But if I had to put money on something, which I'm not a gambling guy, but if I had to, unfortunately, it would be Sterling Shepard, man. I hate to say it.
Let me say this too. Like if you cut Glowinski, I'm operating under the premise that they're going to bring somebody else in. I think that at like a fraction of the cost, minimum. So you're still netting out at plus $5 million at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? Yeah,
that makes sense. That makes sense. Like you said, Pugh isn't a bad option over there. You know what I mean? So I can see it.
It goes back to
bring him home.
You know, Izudu stepping up makes a guy like Glowinski more expendable. Go save that. Holy shit balls.
Yo. Precious.
Wow.
Oh man! Shout out to you, Press. I love you. You're the best in the world.
She is absolutely
You're the best in the
we all
world.
love you.
Oh, we got to do. No, we're gonna make somebody revival fan in a month, man. I'm gonna have to get in touch with somebody and ask some questions here. I have to do this here. But let me talk to the guys first. But shout out to Precious, man. Thank you so much for the super chat. We appreciate you, man. But guys, really quick, I know Speed, man, we got another thing going on here. We have something great, like a little board. We're going to try to play a game with the chat and all this stuff. Let's bring it up. And Adriana, man, this is not rehearsed, so good luck. Good luck. But we're going to try to rank the Speed. Tell people, man.
I got you. I'll lead it in because it's kind of crazy. Out of left field, but I wanted to engage the fans. I want to engage the rest of the NFL people that might be watching. And it's cool to get some non-Giant talk. What I want to talk about here, and I'm going to bring the chart up, it's not a chart, it's a screenshot. Sorry. The quarterbacks in the NFL. So I want to rank each division by quarterbacks, and we're talking the starting quarterbacks on each of these teams. I want to rank each of these divisions by the starting quarterbacks that we have listed here. Now, we could go, you could do this however you want. I have a couple. You can see my brilliant Photoshop work here. The Texans have now Bryce Young.
Who's the producer that didn't give it to me in the notes? Because I'm blind. I can't see that shit.
I got you. We got to zoom in for a couple people here. So what I'll read it out for the people that can't see in this chat. These
thank you for me.
The people with the glasses. I'm not calling anybody out here, but
maybe we each take a division. So this isn't. So it's not a 3-hour exercise.
Sure. Let's go. I agree. Okay, so how about this? Instead of going all in here, let's do your top three. Everybody picks your top three divisions of quarterbacks, and again, this is everybody included. So I want to start with Hefe. I'm gonna put you on the spot here. Now, give me your 1 through 3 of your best quarterbacks, top to bottom, and I want to hear it.
Meaning like the best quarterback divisions
group, right? As a whole, you got to take everybody bottom and top.
I'm going to say AFC West is at the top.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
AFC East needs to get some respect.
They do.
And now, am I naming a bottom one, or because I have a third play? Do I?
Yeah, no. Top three. Give me your top three divisions here.
I like what you've done here. AFC North.
Yeah, I'm about to say, come on.
Yeah. Okay, that's fair.
Come on.
Well, the good thing for the Giants, they're all in the AFC.
Right. What I'll say is, there's guys like, we don't know what Russell Wilson has left in the tank, right? Like he could, if he's last year's Russell Wilson, and no matter how good Justin Herbert and Patrick Mahomes are, it kind of drags. Jimmy G stinks, And if Russell Wilson stinks too, kind of drags that division down. Mac Jones, we'll see what Mac Jones has, AFC East. But, Rodgers, Josh Allen, you have top 5 guys there, and Tua could be that guy too. So totally get that. And then AFC North, if Deshaun Watson gets back to what he was, that automatically might be the top 1, top 2. Or at least, but
let's throw Adriana in the fire. No,
okay,
I'm gonna pass my turn off. Adriana, I'm gonna throw you into the fire here. Give me your worst performing division as far as quarterbacks is concerned.
Oh,
okay, curveball.
She said, "Ooh."
There are some yucky divisions here.
And the first one being the worst, and the last one being the best. We'll do it that way, I guess.
How about that? We do what your best and your worst. We've changed the rules here. Okay. Your best and the worst.
Just freestyling. We're just freestyling. Don't worry.
All right. I think I have to agree with Jeff. The AFC West is. Okay. I actually was going to be the same order as him. The only one I might have thrown in there is. Never mind. It's gotta be I'm looking at the NFC East because I'm like, if Jones is projected,
that's a good argument.
He's going to be, I think Dak is overrated and Sam Howell is probably not that great. But you could have 2 really good quarterbacks out of 4. I don't know. All right, so we're going AFC West as the best. I think the NFC South has to be the worst, only because 2 out of 4 you have major question marks around. Is Derek Carr? I mean, I think he's on the end of his career.
Yeah, but when Derek Carr is your shining star, that's a bad sign.
Right.
And he's the best out of the 4. And then you just got Baker,
it's tough.
He's Baker.
He's Baker.
I agree. But go ahead. I think you have one more that could be the worst one or a middle ground. Did we do best to worst?
Got? Who's your worst? Let's see.
My worst out of this, of course, you got to go with the NFC South, right? Because we don't know what Derek Carr is. We don't know what Baker Mayfield is, right? We do know what Baker Mayfield, but he's not good. He's a journeyman quarterback at this point, Baker Mayfield. Whether you guys like it or not, fans who probably give me hell for it, but he's a journeyman. Let's be honest at this point. His career is mud. So and then you got Derek Carr. Does he have anything left in the tank? I don't think he had anything in the tank to begin with when he was on Vegas. I think he was an overrated quarterback. So I think the NFC South, we don't really know what's going on over there. Like who's on the Falcons? Exactly. So exactly. So exactly. So I think that's probably the worst performing ones. And of course, guys, I'm going to throw a monkey wrench in here because everybody's saying AFC West. Yes, that is the one. That is the one. But I'm going to tell you this, man. I think I see the NFC East kind of giving a run for the money, too. And the reason why I say that is because we do know Dak Prescott. People could say he's overrated or not, right? But the guy has stats. The guy can play. You know what I mean? And then if Daniel Jones does take that leap there, sky's the limit. Now, we all know Jalen Hurts, people. Come on. There's 3 quarterbacks right there. You got these guys that could potentially be that top 10, top 5 quarterback. Of course, we're looking at, Pat Mahomes, right, and Justin Herbert. Don't get it twisted. But these guys are in that conversation with them if they find that leap, especially if Dak continues to play extremely well and he wins a playoff game. If Daniel Jones takes that leap, Jalen Hurts is already in the top 5, arguably. So I'm looking at the NFC East to actually give the AFC West a run for that money, in my opinion. If Daniel Jones can figure it out, you already got 3 right there and to there too. I'm just throwing them up.
Yeah, but we all know Dak is not winning a playoff game. Come on.
No.
If you're a gambling person, absolutely not. And I don't want him to anyway. I want the Giants to. You know what I mean? That's just me. You know what I mean? But let's just say if he does, right? If we're just doing it for the sake of this exercise, come on, you got 3 to 2.
You can have 3 top 10 quarterbacks in the NFC East right here. If all goes according to the plan of their teams, Dak is, for better or worse, we don't like him, but he as a regular season guy, he's always top 10, right? Like,
the Cowboys offense has been top 5 in scoring like every fucking year. So
it is. He might be a choke artist when it comes to the playoffs, but that's the different conversation.
But that offense is prolific, right? Like if you look at Dallas's offense, we see it twice a year, right, guys? So we got to give credit where credit's due. Yeah, that offense is strong, man. It's very prolific, and they still have the offensive line. They just extended freaking Zach. What's his name? Martin. Right, they just extended him, so they still have that nucleus of people that can protect Dak. And Dak is a mobile quarterback, whether you like it. Like Dak is gonna find a way. So again, you still have those guys, 3 in the NFC East, to give you the AFC West to run for that money, in my opinion. And I hope it's true because I'd love to see the NFC East flourish, especially my quarterback. I ain't gonna lie.
Right.
You know what I mean? But
listen, AFC West has the star power, right? Like Patrick Mahomes and Herbert carry them to the top, like, and it's not even close. If Aaron Rodgers is Aaron Rodgers with the Jets and he looks as good as he did in his prime days, AFC's got a very good shot at it. But for me, top AFC North. If Joe Burrow comes back healthy off this calf issue and he plays a whole full season, Lamar Jackson has the best weapons he's ever had in his life. Deshaun is actually creeping on the radar as the highest guaranteed paid quarterback. I don't know how, but good for him for being able to go on the radar. And then Kenny Pickett. Everybody's sleeping on Kenny Pickett, but Kenny Pickett looked damn good in his first preseason game. He had a pretty good close to last year too. Don't sleep on Kenny Pickett, and the floor on that division is pretty good. And that, like, the two worst quarterbacks, the worst quarterback is, I think, clearly Kenny Pickett, and his level could be top 15 at the very least. So
that's a good call. Sneaky AFC North.
Yeah. I'm an AFC North guy. And shout out to Gabe for mentioning this in the graphic. Bryce Young and CJ Stroud are flipped there. So Bryce Young is on Carolina. My bad on the graphic pick.
You're fired. You are fired.
You're gonna fire our graphics guy, which is me for now. But my worst, and I think I wanted to pick the AFC South because there's two rookies in there. Tannehill is as mid as it gets, and then Trevor Lawrence is really good, but he is the clear only person in there. But NFC South, man, it's just there's nobody that could. I mean, if Derek Carr is your shining light there, that's the issue. That's a big issue. Baker might surprise some people. He's still got weapons to throw to.
He'll flash.
He'll flash, but I just don't like Baker's fucking face. I just want to punch it all. How many fists? I give him he's got almost 5 fists of punchability in his face, and I don't like the guy. So I will say NFC South, the worst.
I like it. That's a good call. But yeah, that's pretty much it for the sake of this exercise, guys. Get in the chat, share it, have some fun with this, all right? Because that was definitely fun to talk about. I'll tell you that one.
Last thing, before we let everybody go, let's give us our thoughts here on Friday's game. What do you think? Let's say, what do you think is going to happen starter wise, and what do you want to see? Adriana, start us off. What do you want to see for Friday? Starters go long, a win. Give us your thoughts. Give us a little bullet point on what you want to see.
So I think that this is when we're going to see some of the starters. I think that they might not risk it week 3. It's a little too close to the season. If God forbid anything happens, they'll have a little bit more time. So I think we'll see the starters. Honestly, I'm not really expecting a lot from them. I just want to see them kind of get a series or 2 under their belt, have Jones, familiar again, playing a different defense, whatever, that kind of thing. So honestly, don't really have high expectations for them because it's preseason and I know they're not going to get a full playing time. I would say I have a lot of expectations for the guys that I saw last week that played well, that I want to see them level up. So someone like Tomon Fox, who had a good game, I want to see him take it to the next level, maybe as the opportunity to be the edge rusher number 3 behind Aziz and Kayvon. So he's a guy that I'm going to keep a close eye on. I'm curious to see if we're going to get Beavers since he didn't play last week. Him and McFadden in the linebacker slot. McFadden played well. Who else? There's a lot of guys on defense. I actually feel really confident in our defense that, knock on wood, if God forbid someone gets hurt, at least we have some capable guys that are going to get in and play. So from an offensive perspective, I'm excited to see more from Tommy DeVito. I think he did better than probably a lot of people expected.
Bosco's finest. Let's go.
Yeah. Jersey boy.
Let's go.
Yeah.
He did well. He flashed a lot. I like what I saw of him.
I agree.
I would say a QB too. Maybe way too soon. Way too soon. Don't get it twisted. But I liked what I was seeing from that guy. Was playing with. If it wasn't for the offensive line, I tell you, that guy was playing with. He was he was hustling out there. He was playing. He was playing I need this roster spot. He was out there killing it.
Hey, just fast.
Hey, Jeff, how you doing? You were missed.
I just needed a quick break. I just wanted to restart my computer in the middle of the stream.
Why wouldn't you?
But yeah, Speed, what you got, man? What you need to see?
Well, listen, I want to see the offense put together 2 good drives. Whether it ends in a touchdown or not, I don't really care that much. I just need to see them put together 2 good drives, and then you could sit them all down for the rest of the day for all I care. But 2 good drives, whether that goes into a quarter and a half, I don't think it's going to go a full 2 halves. Just give me something to be excited about. Maybe a couple of Jalen Hyatt catches. Maybe like a run broken loose here or there. Good protection. Just good flow of the offense. I want to see that 2 good possessions, then bring them all out. So
you're looking for 11 different things from this.
No. Just 2 good drives. 2 good drives. That's it. That's it for the offense. I want to see DJ do that. If it happens back to back, yank them all out after the first quarter. I don't even care. And then on defense, when it comes to, I want to see, again, there's guys like Adoree Jackson, KT, Aziz, and McKinney that had very quiet summers. I want to show me a flash or something here. So show me a McKinney breakup. Show me a sack by KT. And then, lastly, the cornerbacks. Those are the guys I focus on the most. But that's it for me. Cornerbacks.
You just named every single position group.
Hey, Gianna, what you got? I'm sorry.
And then
what I wonder is all the guys that he mentioned that are having quiet camps, every single one of them had an injury last year. And I just wonder if they're being super slow and diligent about ramping them up. Like it seems like everyone has had a rest day during practices where they haven't really done that in the past. So
and I want this, and I want that. Oh yeah, and I can't forget the batteries.
I want it all. I want it all.
TK,
perfect.
Hey, when we going out for drinks again, TK? We got to do this during the season. We're going to talk about that offense, TK. I miss you, man. I miss you.
No, but you're right. Maybe these guys are just working their technique. There's always
That's what I'm wondering. Yeah.
Stay healthy. Right. You're right. There's something to that. Hefe, what do you think? What are you looking for on Friday?
Well, I'm going to go really quick because Spiro went really long.
I hogged up all the airtime.
It was supposed to be quick, right?
Yeah. And I'm known to do that. Eli, did you get to go yet?
Not yet.
I'm going to keep it very quick. So, Eli, you go first, and I'm going to go last. Okay? Because I have a question for Adriana before we go.
Okay.
So, very quickly, guys, here's what we're looking for. You give me a quarter, right? Quarter is the max. However, if you score a touchdown in your first, second, third drive within that quarter, get them out of this. That's simple. That's all we're looking for. The offense to have success on his first a couple drives, whatever the case is, that good flow of the offense. That's all I'm looking for. One more thing I just want to get off my chest. Scottish Hammer, I'm tired of mentioning you. I mentioned you last season. Hang time is very important. Punt the fucking ball right, okay?
Right.
Hang time. This way the coverage can get down so there's no freaking running backs. Or no freaking run backs, all right?
Facts.
Do your thing, Scottish Hammer. Paint it into the air a little bit more, not just straight line. You fucking
job,
man. He's killing
you
me.
You have one job.
Fucking job, man. I mentioned you last season with the same bullshit. Scottish Hammer, find the fucking consistency. Throw it into the air. I'm sorry, I just had to say that because it's fucking special teams.
You're right.
Man.
Eli Raps, not a fan of the Scottish.
No.
I learned that today. Okay, so Adriana, we play a game. What I'm looking for. Encouraging offensive line play. That's literally my whole rant. Okay. Adriana, we play a game sometimes. Traditionally, it was called What Was He Thinking? But today, since we have a special female guest, I figured we'd do What Was She Thinking? Okay.
Yes.
So we show a clip. This has nothing to do with football. Okay.
No.
And we're completely putting you on the spot again. No apologies. Welcome to show business. Okay. I'm going to show you a clip.
You guys should have maybe signed a waiver before this.
Yes, I know. You're right.
We're going to show you a clip. We need you to tell us, what is going through this girl's head? I'll show it a couple times if you need. But what?
Rip it apart.
Is it like a multiple choice question, or it's just
absolutely not?
No,
absolutely
not. You're just ripping it apart.
Okay.
Show your comedic side.
Let's have a look. Just while you catch your breath, let's just check that out one more time.
Dude, I hope that wasn't an ankle.
What the fuck was that? I thought my mic was mute. I'm dying. What the fuck was that? All right, Adriana, let's give us your thoughts. What was she thinking?
All right, there's one of two thought processes here. The first one is it was either a dare or a bet because no one in their right frame of mind is doing that for fun.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No. All right, we got anything else?
And the second is her boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever, broke up with her and she was having a really bad day. And she was like, I'm just gonna send myself into the stratosphere because it can't get worse.
Yeah.
She must have done it for the gram, right? Like she must have done it. She had the camera set up. In what world can you stop dead? Like if you were to stop
That's right.
your knees, you won't be able to walk again the rest of your life.
Did she break her legs? Like I need an update. Is she okay? Was she able to swim out of there?
Dude, I don't even listen. That's what happens when a Molly hits different. Like she was high. That's the only thing that had to happen. She was high as a kite. Like, did you hear her legs like smack onto that thing?
I haven't.
Like, play it again. Like, you had to go. Like, it was a weird sound I never heard before. Play it again as you hear her feet hit this freaking thing. Play one more.
I can't.
Dude, it was crazy. It was freaking nuts, man. Oh man, producers can't even pull the show up. I think we lost it. But anywho, but did you hear her freaking thing hit the part there? It was crazy.
I think that happened. It looked like it was Amsterdam, which makes sense. Yeah. Like it looks like she was in Amsterdam. She's probably high as shit.
Super high.
Yes, high as shit. Right.
I don't know. Like I've been high. I don't put my life in danger usually. I'm usually like,
no. That's a different kind of life.
All right, one more time. I just got the sound is so incredible.
Those were her freaking shin shattering. She looking like the dad, like from King of the Hill, like Hank's dad that lost her leg. Oh. Yeah, she lost her legs that day. Like that just sounds crazy.
She would have been better off just jumping and trying to hug it like Super Mario and just like sliding down the ball.
She'd have killed herself either way. It doesn't matter. Like she would have died right then and there. Like, dude, it was just so like gunshots. Her freaking her Achilles, everything popped that day.
Everything popped.
Everything's gone that day, dude. And you can hear the pitter patter like leading up to it. It was like like a baby running. It was just like like she's nuts, man. Listen, stay on drugs, people. All right. So listen, that is the show. Guys, Adriana, tell them where they can find you, please.
So that's my Twitter handle. I am on Instagram at New York Giants Fangirl. It's just all spelled out. Same thing on TikTok. And then I also have a podcast that now comes out weekly called Everything New York Giants, where I just talk about everything you need to know about the Giants.
That's well, what a clever name.
Let's go. Guys, if you don't know who she is, you're gonna know today. She is the queen of Instagram when it comes to Giants content.
She owns Instagram.
Come on.
She does.
Come on, guys. She owns
it. She's the whole like group around her. She is it. She is she. She is she.
If you guys think we're endorsing her, no, she's helping us out. All right. All right, she's the queen. All right, this is what we got her on here for. All right. So shout out, man. Thank you so much for being part of the show, guys. Please go check out her Twitter handles. Go check out her Instagram. Please follow her on Twitter, #1, and go check out her Instagram handle as well. She does great content. I tell you, I've been watching her for like ever now. She's freaking awesome. So, but guys, unfortunately, that's the end of the show. And we want to thank you guys. Yes, you, the Revivalists, everyone that donated, super chat, guys, goes to a good cause because that's what we do. We want to give it back to you anyway. All right. So, guys, thank you so much for your time. And on behalf of my brother here, Mr. Glass Half Full, and that's Spee, if you nasty now.
Let's go.
Hold on, did you flick the hair up again? It was hilarious.
I don't know. He does such cooler stuff. I don't know how he comes up with it.
I tried to spin the football and it brought up the fucking.
This is the afternoon show, all right? This is the afternoon, guys, all right? We're going to fire a couple people. Hey, my brother, El Jefe, a.k.a. White Jersey, a.k.a. Blue Jersey, a.k.a. Damn Daniel, on behalf of Adriana, man, the queen of Instagram. We want to thank you guys. Peace and blessing. It's your boy, Eli Rex, a.k.a. Vibes. And this is New York Revival, where it's not just sports, it's entertainment. Y'all have a good afternoon. Peace and blessings.
Eli Rex. El Jefe, Mr. Glass Half Full, the Revival.